Hello and welcome to a lovely day here today at Goat Hill Park as we have the visiting Farmington Tigers leading the conference at a 7-0 record against the number 2 team in the conference at 6-2, 7-2 overall, the Eagan Wildcats. My name is Casey Lux. I'm joined today by Skip Newton. How you doing today, Skip?
I'm doing great. Thanks a lot, Casey. It's great to be here. And man, you started it off with the finer point of the beginning here. And what a gorgeous day for baseball. This is incredible, and I'm glad to be here. This is going to be an awesome game. Absolutely.
Get to wear some shorts today. We're all happy. Everybody's got short sleeves on, so the kids are smiling. It's a big game, as we talked about, a huge game. Farmington pulled off a close one against Lakeville North, actually, on Monday, and they only had one hit. But they ended up scratching off 2 runs, and both those runs were actually not even related to that hit. So they've showed that they can, steal some bases and take care of errors, right, and take advantage of errors. While on the other hand, just a real quick recap, Eagan took their second loss of the season on Monday in a 73-minute game. And it was a 2-1 game that Rosemont ended up beating Eagan 2-1. And it was an excellent pitching duel between Daniel Biancamano for Eagan and Mr. Bile for Rosemont. So we're really looking forward to today's game. And obviously throughout the game we got some stats that both coaches were kind enough to give us. So Skip and myself will be passing those along. What are some of the keys you think today for both teams today, Skip?
Well, it's always good to get off to a good start. Like you mentioned, Eagan, suffered a close one in their last game, 2-1, and I noticed their only other loss of the season was also a 1-run game. So they've been competitive in every game, and they need to stay close here today and get a couple of key hits to hopefully close the gap down to 1 game between us and the first place Farmington Tigers.
Absolutely. So Lincoln Berry's on the mound. He last week against Lakeville North, got the win. Senior number 10. Plays shortstop or third when needed. And then that first play, you get a ground ball to Danich, so 1 pitch, 1 out from Danich to Ahmed. Exactly what you needed there from your pitcher.
Yeah, can't get much better than that start. Very, very clean play there. Nicely done.
Number 3, Alex Barrett. And if you hear a little bit of you hear a lot of my voice today because I'm doing the PA as well as we're doing the broadcast, but we're very happy to be here. Once again, we love to always say thank you to Eagan TV for the wonderful job that they do to bring these high school sports, not only to the area, but obviously, passing it on to relatives that are out of state and so forth. So Bear steps in. He's a shortstop today. Batting on the left side, throws right. And Barry starts off quickly on a 1-1 count. I'll tell you real quick here, Skip, Barrett is their second best hitter, so he's batting .364 on the season. One thing I noticed about Barrett was 4 doubles on the season as well.
Yeah, definitely some nice numbers. It's the kind of output you want from your number 2 hitter, right? Get on base a lot, set up kind of that meat of the order.
Absolutely. So we got 2-1 count here early on as Barrett takes an offer on an off-speed pitch from Barry on the inside and fouls it away. So 2-2 count, 1 down here early on. And as we said, a lovely day. I think our first pitch was actually a little early. I think we were about 4:27 I had. There's a strikeout and off-speed by Barry for the second out.
Nice pitch as he got him swinging right through that one. 2 up, 2 down, looking for a 1-2-3 inning.
Yeah, and this the one thing that you notice with Barry, he's got this command early on against Lakeville North. That was his first start of the season, and I wouldn't say he was erratic around the zone, but he had a tough time that first inning. They put up 3 on him, and then he cruised from that point on. Now we see a little ground ball hit over to the Huseman, the sophomore, and he makes a nice throw over to Ahmed. So a quick 1-2-3 inning, and after the top of the first for Farmington, no runs and no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. And we are going to move on to the bottom of the first inning.
Friendly hop there for Huseman as it popped right up chest level. Nice, easy play. Good throw over to first.
Yeah, absolutely. And Coach Butler was mentioning today that he's given the sophomore a chance at third today. They kind of mix it around when Barry's pitching. Like I said, if Biancamano's on the mound, that's probably their strongest field behind them, because then they keep Martin at shortstop, and then Barry kind of goes back to his natural position of third base. If Liam Martin is pitching, then Barry obviously will be playing shortstop. So one thing we wanted to mention is on the mound today will be Zach Dorman, and I'm just trying to pull up some stats on Dorman. Dorman on the season, 3 games, 2 wins, no losses, 14 innings, and a pencil-thin 1.29 ERA.
Yeah, definitely a stingy pitcher, of course, with no losses for the team, so no losses for any of the pitchers. It'd be nice to see if Eagan can get something going, get some guys on base, and see how he does dealing with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Eagan kind of sticks with the same lineup, so it's not like we've seen a whole lot of necessarily mixing and matching in their starting lineup when it comes to just even the placement of the hitters. They kind of like to go a little bit of the lefty-righty combo. You don't see too many lefties bunched next to each other as well. And then, as we mentioned, just a beautiful day for baseball. So full of smiles here all around the park, and everybody's just happy to be outside.
Yeah, you're not kidding about that. I got to attend my daughter's ultimate Frisbee game yesterday, and we stood outside for 90 minutes in the rain, 40 degrees. It was not a pleasant experience. Always fun to watch your kid play, but man, that was rough.
Yeah, I know. That's like I said. That was the beauty of Monday's game, with it only being about a 70-minute 2-1 pitchers duel. First pitch, fastball right down the middle, tipped away by Lockenmeyer. Lockenmeyer on the season, 8 for 27. 2 RBIs from that leadoff spot as well. I will say the one thing that you'll notice, Skip, as we see that curveball come in for a strike, both teams, I know that Farmington likes to run, but you'll definitely see Eagan likes to run early and often. So it's going to be all about the pitchers holding on the runners as well as the catchers being able to get it and get rid of it quickly. 0-2 here early in the bottom of the first. Farmington went 3 up, 3 down, as Lincolnberry did a nice job of commanding the zone here early on. 0-2's our count here early on to Lockenmeyer. Fastball in the outside corner by Dorman.
Close pitch, nice take. Make the pitcher work a little bit here early. I like that.
Absolutely. And I didn't even notice it, but I asked one of the players what kind of music they wanted to hear today, and here it was the starting pitcher. He said anything but country. As we see the curveball, he says that's all the coach listens to in practice. So I said, that's okay, we won't play country.
Well, you got to mix it up. You don't want to have too much of the same music and over. That way everybody gets a little something that they like. Early strikeout there for Rosemount. 4 up, 4 down so far in the first for both teams.
Yeah, we might be sitting on another fast one here today. Amon takes that first pitch off speed for a strike. Amon, a versatile player. Normally is their everyday second baseman, and now is kind of filling in at first base as the hot-hitting Charlie Harms, as we watch a ball high. The hot-hitting Charlie Harms, I think he was 8 for 8 in his last 3 games. The poor guy, when he was throwing grounders in between innings in the top of the 7th, stepped on the bag wrong and twisted his ankle.
That is bad luck.
Hot shot down line foul. So he says it's not too bad. He hopes to be back maybe later this week or early next week. But now Amon moves from second over, and then Ryan Danich, who also does some relief pitching for the Wildcats, moves over to second base as well. 1-2's our count here. 1 out here in the bottom of the first to Amon. Fastball inside. Looks like Dorman's getting nice and stretched out here as he's kind of snapping the mitt here.
Yeah, those balls are moving fast. It's impressive. I mean, I'm glad I'm not sitting up there. I'm perfectly happy right where I'm at.
As we look at a pop-up, it can be to the catcher and almost a collision. So a little miscommunication between Hindenkamp and Vogel there on that play. The tough part with that play, Skip, is in theory it's right by the catcher, but the first baseman has the best angle coming in on it. You also, as a coach, you also like to see your pitcher hop off the mound too and maybe help your guy out there.
Yeah, exactly. Some communication would have been helpful there. I didn't hear anybody calling for the ball, right. And like you said, that's a tougher play for the catcher because he's running in the same direction that the ball is fading away from him. You'd rather see that first baseman come in and help.
Absolutely. 2-2's our count here with 1 out, and Amon fouls it off. So Amon stays alive on that off-speed pitch by Dorman. So far, from Dorman, I'm just noticing fastball, curveball. I haven't really it's a hard angle for us to tell if he's got a slider or if we've seen a changeup just quite yet.
Hopefully he can take advantage of the gift, getting that extra out.
Yeah. Amon takes the ball to make the count full. Amon on the season hitting 5 of 19 at the dish, 1 double, and hit by pitch once as well. Amon puts a charge into it, but Henderson's got a beat on it in center as he sits underneath it and makes that play. So 2 up and 2 down.
The shortstop.
Good at bat there for Amon. It produced an out, but he hit it well, and he made the pitcher work a little bit. I like that. Fouled off some tough pitches, took some close ones. Nicely done.
Absolutely. And you know, one thing that is sometimes is ever so important, especially when you got the studs on the mound, is you see the swing in the mitts on that fastball, is obviously, you know, fouling some pitches off to kind of work that pitch count, because you know the State High School League has you at, I think it's 110-ish, I believe, as a starter. So the more pitches that you can obviously rack up early on, you know, the better chance that maybe you can get that guy out of the game by the 6th or 7th inning, right?
Right, a 110 pitch count. Clearly Bert Blyleven's not on the Minnesota State High School League. He would have nothing to do with that.
He would not, and they're the best athletes, right? 0-2s are counted here to Liam Martin. 2 down in the bottom of the 2nd. Martin fouls off another fastball. That was a high fastball as he fouls off. Liam, an excellent baseball player. I remember the last time I saw him was in 2019. I think he's gained about 6 inches since then. So I didn't even recognize him when the first game I saw him at. And at that time, he was their center fielder. He hits another towering ball down the line to left. We'll see if Osk has a beat on it. And actually, it was Barrett that actually got closest to it. Kind of in that no man's land.
Yeah, you talk about a kid growing 6 inches and not recognizing him. I tell you, that happens with my kids as friends. You don't see them for a year, especially with COVID, and you know, everyone's isolated. All of a sudden, like, holy crap, your friend became a man. What just happened here? I thought you were only in 9th grade.
Yeah, you're just a different person, right? You got a beard, taller, filled in. Alrighty, so 0-2s are count, 2 outs. As Dorman's done a nice job here in the first inning as well, after Amon battled him for about a 7-pitch at bat. Fastball's outside and low. It'll be interesting to see what our strike zone is here today. Monday was a wide zone, but it was wide for both teams, and part of the reason that game went so quick. So we'll see if, you know, as the game goes on, if they're giving an inch or two on the outside or inside corner.
One thing I like, you know, making the pitcher work a little bit, it gives the rest of the lineup a chance to see what he's got, right? The more pitches he throws, they can get an idea of, you know, what kind of stuff he's got today.
Absolutely, 100%. And he's really trying to pound that low outside corner on the knees. So now we've seen Martin actually look at 3 fastballs outside. So now with full count, 3-2. Bottom of the first, 2 down, with Lincoln Berry, the pitcher, on deck. Martin hits a ground ball over to Barrett, and Barrett gets it underneath his glove. So Eagan strikes first by getting Martin on base on that ground ball that just got underneath Barrett's glove.
What we talked about in the first inning, that third out was the high hop up to the chest, a nice easy play for the third baseman. This one absolutely stayed low and got right under the glove as it hugged the ground.
Yeah, you know, one of those plays where that lip on the infield very well just kind of, you know, didn't take that natural hop up, and that top spin, you know, right, went underneath his glove.
And that's why they teach you when you're playing, you know, get the glove down and come up with the ball. Don't start too high. So
absolutely.
One of those fundamentals, and this is exactly why the coaches train that into the kids.
Yep, absolutely. So Martin's on first. He's a threat to steal as well, as we watch Dorman toss it over to Vogel at first. And we'll maybe get that, we'll maybe find some stolen base numbers here at some point, but we'll mix them in. Barry's been hitting in the 4 spot all season. Martin does take off. Barry takes a charge on one to center, but Hendrickson doesn't have to move much, and he makes the 3rd out of the inning. So for Eagan in the bottom of the 1st, they send 4 batters to the plate, and no runs and no hits. There was the 1 error and nobody left on. So after 1, it's a 0-0 ball game here at Goat Hill Park between Farmington and Eagan. I'm just trying to work my
the DH, number 30, Kyle Hernser.
All right, back here in the top of the second. The DH is Kyle Hernser as he swings at the first offering, kind of hits a light pop fly to George Anderson. Actually thought it was going to be a little shorter of a shot than what we saw there.
Yeah, when he first hit it, I thought maybe that might have a little more carry, and I think the center fielder did as well. But Anderson playing smartly, your first step back, and then rushed in to make the play.
Yeah. And maybe, you know, it feels like we have a little bit of breeze, even though we're not seeing the flag move, as we see a changeup thrown nicely on the inside corner by Barry. Drush is the one that we talked about before the game with the speed for Farmington. So obviously a key thing for Eagan will be keeping him off the base passes. On the base path, I believe he has 4 stolen bases here in the season, 4 for 4. Another changeup, swung on a miss, so 1-2's our count here. 1 down, top of the second, 0-0 ball game versus big game here today. Number 1 Farmington versus number 2 Eagan. As we watch the curveball being swung on and missed by Drush.
Nice pitch combination there. He's got them mixed up. They're not sure what's coming, and he's got them guessing, and they're guessing wrong. They're not even close to hitting these.
Yeah, and one thing that you like to see, I know Coach Butler and the pitching coach Tom Buski love to see, is just a real good temperament, real good pace by Barry, just catching the ball and throwing and staying around the zone for the most part, right?
Boy, that was a lovely curveball right there.
Absolutely, absolutely. 2 down here, top of the second. Casey Lux joined by Skip Newton today here on Eagan TV. And we are just smiling all broadcasts here because sun is out, no wind, and it feels like spring again.
Oh, man, this is beautiful. You hate to do the Minnesotan thing and talk about the weather constantly, but it's really hard when it's this nice.
As that fastball gets away from Barry, and he sends Weed to first base.
The first baseman.
Tried to go inside. He was up in the count. I like the aggressiveness there. You know, establish your place. It just got away from him a little bit.
Yep.
So first base run of the game for Farmington.
So 2 down. So as we've seen here, Eagan had Liam Martin reach on an error in the bottom of the first. Now we have the first base runner of the game for Farmington on that hit by pitch. Curveball low and in for a strike to Vogel. Vogel on the season, 3rd best batting average, batting .346. With 2 doubles as well. Throw over, nice play by Amon to keep that one in play.
Yeah, you want to keep them close, but you don't want to give them a free base. So
yeah.
nice play there, keeping them at first.
Yeah. You know, a lot of times, too, it's more so about the timing, right? Just making sure that they're not able to count down, you know, the routine that the pitcher's doing so that they can more so steal on the timing as opposed to, you know, stealing on the pitch or stealing on the catcher, right? So that's why you see a lot of good pitchers won't even throw over. They'll just, you know, step off. They might nod their head 5 times, things of that nature.
Yeah, so you throw over there too much, and the base runner will get a read on your move,
exactly.
And that'll be counterproductive.
Absolutely. So 2-1's our count here to Vogel here in the top of the second, 2 down. And we have Connor Weed on first as he was hit by pitch on an inside fastball by Barry. And now we see Weed take off. The throw down by Steffen. On time and got him.
What a throw.
A great scoop by Martin. And a great tag as well by Martin as Eagan dodges that first steal of the game and gets out of the inning. So for Farmington in the top of the second, no runs on no hits, 1 left on and no errors. And after 1.5, we have a 0-0 ball game. We're back. We have the catcher Chuck Steffen up, number 7. He was the hero of the Shakopee game, Skip. That was a beautiful game pitched by Daniel Biancamano, and Steffen went deep, went big fly for a solo shot, and they won 1-0 at Shakopee.
Nice, and he's having a good game already, especially that last inning. Not only did he throw the would-be base stealer out, but also had a block of a previous pitch to keep the ball in front of him to keep that runner at first base.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. A lot of times as you look back at the game, there's a lot of those little plays, right, of just knocking the ball down, just keeping people from taking extra bases early on. 1-1's our count as Steffen falls that fastball back. So 1-2 in the bottom of the second. Obviously 0-0 ball game here. Dorman pitching a great game as well, just like Barry. So we're set for a great pitcher's duel, I believe.
Yeah, I'm almost disappointed if it goes too fast. It's just so nice. I want to stay outside.
Absolutely. As Steffen swings up high on that strike 3 on the high fastball.
Nice pitch there when you're ahead in the
Right
count.
fielder,
Go
number
ahead
27.
and burn one
Sam
high and see if they get the guy to chase it, and that's exactly what happened.
So Sam Chapman jumps in, right fielder. That's his normal place. On the season, I'm going to try to find a Chapman stat here for you. 4 for 23, it looks like, on the season, but he does have. Looks to be he has 6 RBIs, so he must be the master of the getting the runner of the sacrifice, right? Hitting some fly balls with a guy on third because he has more RBI. Well, unless he's had some bases clearing singles, maybe that's also. But so 0-1's our counter to Chapman. High fastball gets out of the way from Dorman to Hindenkamp. 1-1's our count. 1 down here as Steffen struck out on that high fastball.
So a little on-air production meeting here. When those foul balls go up in the air and it comes near us, whose job is it to catch that ball?
That's a fair question. I got good hands. I like to think that I still have good hands, meaning that I still play some town ball down by New Ulm. But we have to. Well, I think what we have to do is we have to make sure that none of the equipment gets damaged, right? So I think that's most important and our key there. 1-2's our count. Fastball low to Chapman from Dorman, and now we're at 2-2.
It never occurred to me when I left my house I needed to bring my glove.
Yeah,
An oversight, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly.
Still looking for that first hit of the game.
Yes, absolutely. As he swings on that curveball low and away for the second strikeout of the game, so Dorman obviously is cruising along.
The third baseman, number 11, Will.
Yeah, 2 up and 2 down, both on strikeouts. See if Eagan gets something started here with 2 outs in the bottom of the second.
Absolutely. So as we said a little bit earlier, Will Huseman, a sophomore, getting the nod today at third. So kind of interested to see how he handles, a savvy veteran, so to say, on the mound. Big kid, though.
Starts off with an open stance.
Yeah.
And then as the pitcher gets into the windup, he'll lift that front leg and put it where it needs to be.
Check swing, looks like he did offer. So Dorman is just cruising this inning. 2 strikeouts early and quickly off to an 0-2 count. Huseman is so new. He's the new man that hasn't even, I think this is his first at bat of the season according to our stats. So baptism by fire, Skip.
Exactly.
As he falls away that curveball.
Just got a piece of it. Catcher couldn't hold on.
Yeah.
Stays alive.
Hindenkamp did a good job of sticking with it. Just couldn't obviously get his glove on it at the last second there. But impressive second inning here by Dorman. As we said, working quick, staying around the zone, and really only using his waist pitches when he's up 0-2. And that's what he got Steffen to swing on, was that high fastball early on. 0-2's our count, 2 down. Fastball low below the knees to Huseman. So 1-2's our count. Dorman on the mound. His battery mate is Hindenkamp. Huseman, a third baseman here today for Eagan. Fastball gets him on the knee. So we get the snapper mode on in there with the 3 up and 3 down, 3 strikeouts by Dorman. So for Eagan in the bottom of the second, no runs and no hits, nobody left on and no errors. And we watched Dorman cruise through that inning for 3 quick Ks. And after 2, we got ourselves a 0-0 ball game. All right, we're back here in the top of the third as Frank Vogel's back on the dish. Vogel was the batter when we watched Weed get thrown out at second on that nice throw by Stefan. So the beauty is, and as you know this too, Skip, is that was like a free at bat, right? He got to watch a couple pitches, get to time up Barry, and then now he gets to start this at bat all over again, as that first pitch fastball is inside low.
I'm surprised there isn't a stat for that. I mean, baseball keeps a stat on just about everything. What is your batting average when you're at the plate at the end of an inning and someone gets thrown out so you get to go back up to begin the next inning?
Absolutely. Vogel, the intimidation factor, as he's a big first baseman, exactly what you want. And with that short porch to right, obviously Barry's going to probably do everything he can to keep on the outside corner, as we now see Eagan, what they do like to mix in with their major league style shift. So they put the shortstop in short right field on that changeup in for a strike. 1-2's our count.
Pulled the string on that one. That was gorgeous. Can't believe the size of this kid. I have to remind myself I'm watching high school baseball.
Yeah, I was. And there's another changeup low and away for strike 3. So nice job by Barry against Vogel.
Definitely in the middle of a pitching duel here. Pitchers are in full command. Only 2 base runners thus far, neither one on hits. So 1 hit by pitch and 1 error. This could be one of those 1-0 games.
Absolutely. First pitch we see hit over to the third baseman Huseman. His throw goes over to Amon, and Amon just stretches up and makes the play. So the sophomore makes his first play of the day, and a 1-2 on a 2-hopper over to third.
Yep, another nice play. He had time, so he double clutched, make sure he was ready for the throw. Got it a little high, but got bailed out at first base by Amon.
Vogel. Is he moving into second, catcher? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so a quick change, I guess, already as Dom Vogel.
Dom Vogel.
So it looks like Hinnenkamp is being replaced by Dom Vogel here early on. Hopefully not an injury, as now we have a 1-1 count. It's all right, they crossed this up early, Skip, so we just got to keep moving. Another fastball, looked like that one was a strike, but just missed low. 2-1's our count, 2 down here in the top of the third, 0-0 ball game. As we said before, first place Farmington Tigers, and the second place Eagan Wildcats. Barry just misses high.
That was a close pitch. I'm surprised he was able to lay off that one.
3-1's our count here to Vogel, who took over the catching duties. There's a strike on the outside corner. Took over the catching duties for Matt Hinnenkamp.
Thought he had ball 4, was halfway out of the box.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have Marnie Gellner on sidelines for us today to let us know if there was an injury or not. As we see Vogel take a walk in his first at bat of the day.
The center fielder, number 4.
First walk of the day.
And we're going to have a runner.
Pitch running will be number 24, Drew Conrad.
So Drew Conrad is going to come in for Vogel. So lots happening here. Lots happening, lots moving. The one thing I'll mention right away here that's kind of interesting, and I'm kind of waiting to see how much ground he can cover, is Hendrickson, the center fielder for Farmington, is actually heading off to Xavier University next year. I've been told that he can pitch a little bit too, but mainly it's his speed and so forth as center field. And we'll fill in some more as the game goes along, as to at least some of the Farmington players, next year opportunities that they plan on taking advantage of. So we have Conrad running for Vogel at first. 2 down here in the top of the third with the leadoff hitter coming back to the plate, and that's Carter Hendrickson. Carter Hendrickson swings on the first pitch. Can be hitting that over to right field, and that's Chapman, and he just underneath that makes the easy play. So Barry just walks one batter, but gets one pitch and gets a quick out.
Yep, another nice inning. It is definitely going to be a pitcher's duel, and I think that's part of the reason why you might have seen that pinch runner. They're playing to try and get just one run across if they can, because they know that might be enough.
Yeah, especially the way that Dorman's been pitching here early on. So Farmington in the top of the third, no runs, no hits, 1 left on base with no errors. As we roll into the bottom of the third inning with our score being 0-0. And at that time now, I'd like to let everybody know quickly that if you're enjoying ETV, make sure to follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and subscribe on YouTube. You can visit them on eagan-tv.com. Also, here you go, Skip. This is right up your alley, bud. Need a fun summer job? Eagan's Cascade Bay is hiring. Serve your community, make friends, earn some money, and help create some summer fun for everyone. Lifeguards, pool attendants, guest attendants, and grounds attendants are some of the positions that are open. For more information on how to apply, dive into the website at cascadebay.com. And I keep talking about who gets that mascot job, right?
Not me. I definitely do not want that job, but that is an awesome-looking mascot. Maybe I can talk to my son about that.
I will say that, too. I will say that if you're starting a new high school, that might be what you want to go. Without even the shipmen, I don't know what you'd say, right? Like the captains, I don't know. But anyways, I think it would be a little hot in the summertime, but it would be a fun one. It's always fun when you're incognito and nobody knows who you are. So here we go.
The second baseman, number 2, Ryan Danich. Go, Ryan.
Well, you talked about following, Eagan TV on Twitter. I follow them, and it's a great way to keep up with Eagan High School sports. I mean, they're always tweeting out when they follow games. They're communicating all that. Just set your alert to let you know whenever they tweet out, and you can keep track of how things are going.
First pitch is in there for a strike, and as we said, there was that one player change already, which was number 26, Dom Vogel, coming in for Matt Hinnenkamp. So just like that, now Vogel's got to come in and catch Dorman, who's throwing a heck of a game here early. 0-1's our count as that fastball's in the outside corner, swung on and missed by Danich. Danich does a nice job, kind of a utility guy, mainly more of a relief pitcher, Skip, but like I said, when the injury happened to Charlie Harms, he moved into second, then Mason Amon moved over to first. So position flexibility, as you know, is only going to give you more opportunities to get on the field, right? Yeah, that one rattled off, I think, the light pole in front of us here.
Yeah, I got to do a better job of keeping track of these foul balls.
I want you to start tracking them.
As soon as I look up, the sun goes right in the eyes. And
so 0-2 count. Dorman's pitch fouled away again by Danich. So Danich did a nice job. And, like we talked about, Dorman is just kind of a strike thrower. I mean, it really isn't wasting too many pitches. It's not like he's just, getting 0-2 and then just kind of throwing curveballs in the dirt. He keeps going after the batters here, especially towards the bottom of the lineup is probably what he's factoring in. There's that off speed that's high.
It'll be interesting to see as we get back to the top of the lineup if any of the hitters will change their approach, given how in command he is. If he's always around the plate, maybe you go up and you're a little more aggressive and look to swing early and don't let him get ahead in the count.
Absolutely. 1-2's our count. Fastball's low and away. So Danich is looking for his first hit of the year. He only had 6 at-bats, has a walk on the season, so I think that's why you can hear the rallying cry from his dugout, because everybody's waiting for the senior to get his first hit on the season. 2-2's our count here in the bottom of the third. 0-0's our score. And he does get him on that curveball looking. So Danich has a heck of a bat of battling off some pitches, but gets put away on that curveball.
Close call. I don't think he thought that was in the strike zone. Thought it might have been a little high, but when the pitcher is on and always around the plate, he's going to start to get the calls from the umps.
And I could be wrong, but I believe that George here is a sophomore. So youngster getting the nod to jump up and play center field for the Wildcats. As I mentioned, back in 2019, Liam Martin was more of the everyday center fielder. They had a real good shortstop at the time, Aiden Burns. So Liam was their center fielder, and now Liam has moved into shortstop. 1-0 is our count. And there's a fastball pipe down the middle for a strike. The one thing I will mention, Skip, is with the speed, I've been kind of waiting to see if he'll do a little more drag bunts, and see if he can kind of leg out some infield hits as the season goes on.
Yeah, I was just wondering that. With the pitcher, this in command, are they going to try something else and lay down the bunt? There, it looked like he squared around, maybe thinking the same thing.
Yeah. That's probably one where in his mind he wanted to do it, and then all of a sudden it's a curveball. And a lot of times a curveball would be the easier, softer pitch to actually be able to put down the line. 1-2's our count, 1 out as Anderson hits a high pop-up and looks like it's going to be covered by the third baseman, Miehofer.
Miehofer coming way over from third base in front of the shortstop there to make that catch.
Left fielder, number 8, Alex Lockenmeyer.
Yeah, third baseman actually called off shortstop there. So But you know what? At the end of the day, the coach doesn't care as long as the ball's caught.
I was just going to say that. As long as somebody calls it and makes the play, then that's really what all that matters.
First pitch ground ball to Drusch as he relays it over to Vogel, and just like that, Dorman has another 1-2-3 inning. So Eagan in the bottom of the third, no runs and no hits, nobody left on and no errors, and after three complete, we have a 0-0 score. Once again, if you're enjoying ETV, make sure to follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and subscribe on YouTube. Visit eagan-tv.com. All right, we got the shortstop leading off here in the top of the fourth, Alex Barrett, and he's actually going on to play at Northern Iowa Area Community College. So both pitchers having a heck of a game here early on. Barry's only runner was on a hit by pitch, as we see that off speed, swung on and missed. Barry doing an excellent job between his changeup, mixing that changeup and that curveball. And, not necessarily limiting his fastballs, right, but just more of, picking the right, moments to throw them instead of just going fastball, off speed, right? So maybe they say that pitching backwards a little bit as we see a fastball in the outside corner just missing. 1-2's our count to Barrett, the shortstop.
Yeah, he's really had command of all of his pitches today. So, if he's feeling comfortable throwing three different pitches, there's no reason not to just mix them up and keep those Farmington hitters off balance. And there's another strikeout.
There it is. Curveball on the inside corner, or fastball, on the inside corner first.
Looked like he had Barrett thinking about a different pitch, and he didn't get what he was expecting. Froze him right at the plate.
Right. No, absolutely. No, just a really good pitch sequence there for Barry. Oz steps in, playing left field here today. Try to grab some stats on Osk. Osk hitting about 200, I believe, on the season. It's still very early, obviously. That's the one thing I always talk about with batting averages, and you know this too, especially early on in the season. One bad game can drop an average way down, and one 3 for 4, 4 for 4 game can boost it way back up.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point. When it's early like this, only 20 at bats, 21 including the first one. It's hard to get a high batting average unless you've gotten a few good games in there.
Looks like he does have 6 RBIs in the season with 2 doubles as well, so has some pop. He's their number 3 hitter, and he takes ball 4. So a quick 4-pitch walk for Osk.
The DH, number 30, Kyle Hernser.
So we'll see here how much Farmington wants to put people in motion here now with having a runner on base for the first time with 1 or less outs. So top of the fourth, like I said before, Farmington 7-0 in the season, number 1 in the conference. Eagan 6-2 in the conference, sitting at the number 2 spot, and a big changeup with a big swing by Hernser.
That is Osk's 5th walk of the season, so while he doesn't have a lot of hits, he has a patient and a good eye at the plate, so that could explain part of it as well.
Absolutely.
So he's getting on base.
Right, and that's probably good reason why they have him. And now we're going to see, foul ball. Okay, so Osk was going to try to take off for second, and that's part of the reason you potentially put him at the 3 spot, right? Because he's constantly getting on base, great on base percentage, and then you bring up Hernser, who's you're planning on having him pound some balls out to the gaps and letting Osk run a little bit. So 0-2's our count, 1 down in the top of the fourth. And there's a fastball high up top. Throw down to first is safe, and Hernser's down on 3 pitches.
Blew that one right by him. Great pitch.
The second baseman,
Up
number 10,
0-2, probably
Will.
expecting maybe a changeup or curve, and he went with the fastball high up in the strike zone and got him.
Yeah, absolutely. So Barry does exactly what all pitching coaches want you to do: follow up a 4-pitch walk with a 3-pitch strikeout, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to get into that habit of giving away too many pitches. He corrected that immediately and gets right to work here.
Once again, off-speed pitch for a strike. Drews on the season hitting .333 with 2 triples. So as we said, he does have the speed. He's 4 for 4 with stolen bases on the season, as we see another throw over from Barry to Amon. So, you know, if Drush goes shopping at the gap, that very well could mean he could be looking for a 3-bag triple. So we'll see what happens here as he takes another big hack on that fastball low. So both Barry and Stefan, though, keeping a close eye on Osk at first, as we've seen both kind of throw over. We've seen Stefan throw over on that strike 3, and we've seen Barry now check over a couple times as well. 0-2's our count, 2 down, top of the 4th. Another throw over from Barry to Amon.
Yeah, with 2 outs, I'm sure they're going to do everything they can to get that runner over to scoring position, which is probably why Eagan's paying so much attention to the runner at first.
Absolutely. Another strike low, this time gobbled up by Stefan, and a soft lob throw over to Amon. But it did the job, so Barry gets 2 strikeouts. So we're just seeing guys just kind of pull the string here early on. So after the top of the 4th, Farmington no runs on no hits, 1 left on and no errors. And after 3.5, we have a 0-0 ball game.
First baseman, number 5, Mason. Amen.
First baseman Mason Amon will be stepping in, the number 2 hitter for Eagan Wildcats. Facing Dorman here for the 2nd time. Fastball on the outside corner for a strike. So just a strike throw. I mean, it'd be really interesting, you know, if you did get the stats as this game goes on to learn how many strikes he's thrown of the pitches that he's thrown total. I mean, I think that has to be around 80-85% today.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. At least 75 to 80. So we're thinking, and I think your numbers are more accurate, just because it's been pretty much nothing but strikes.
Watch a ground ball hit over to Drush. His relay to Vogel is in time to get Amon for the first out of the inning.
The shortstop, number 16, Liam Martin.
So Liam Martinell steps in, the shortstop, junior. And on the season for Liam, if we can find him here, he is 8 for 23, 6 RBIs as he takes his first offering and follows it back. Scored 10 runs, so that's, you know, that's kind of a number that you look at and say, okay, well, that guy gets on base. That probably means that they find a way to put him in motion, right? Steal some bases. And obviously he has speed, probably go first to third, first to home, second to home. Fastball is up from Dorman.
So Dorman, coming into the game, 200 pitches thrown, 125 of those are strikes.
Okay,
so
there you go.
Clearly he's in more command today than I think what he typically does.
Right. Curveball just misses inside. So 2-1's our count, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. 0-0's our score. As we keep saying, number 1 Farmington versus number 2 Eagan. So huge day for both teams as they're both kind of jockeying for not only playoff positioning but conference positioning. There's a fastball swung on, hit. It was right on it. Hits it straight back by Martin.
Yeah, good timing there by Martin. As you said, he was right on it. And that ball gets foul tipped straight back. That means he's got the timing down, just needs to get the barrel of the bat on it.
Fastball in the outside corner just misses it. Dorman wanted it. Dorman thought he had that one for strike 3. 3-2 is our full count here. Lincoln Berry, the pitcher today for Eagan, on deck. A very clean game. We've only had one error so far, and that was by Barrett. I think that was the second inning, if I remember correctly, on a ground ball to short. But the domination pitching, I mean, these fielders haven't really even had that many opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. There's some fielders that haven't even touched the ball yet.
Right.
Oh, here we go.
This one's getting a little closer.
That's a little behind me.
All right, we're good. We're good. So Martin doing a good job of fouling off some pitches here. He's fouled off 3 actually so far this at bat. He's got it up to about a 7-pitch at bat. 3-2 count, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Beautiful day here in Eagan. We are at Goat Hill Park. The Eagan Wildcats hope to be at their home park next week, Monday. And then Liam gets a lace job on that curveball that hung and hits that one out to Osk in left. So first hit of the game for Eagan, and that brings up Lincoln Berry, the pitcher.
First hit of the game overall. We've had nothing but base runners due to a hit by pitch, a couple of walks, and an error. So first hit of the ball game. Let's see if Eagan can turn this into the first run.
And you know what? Potentially the one missed pitch by Dorman. I mean, that was just a curveball. He didn't have the hard snap that he's had all game. Hung up, and Martin did such a good job as we watch the relay down, and Martin gets his foot inside the base. A good throw by Vogel on an off-speed pitch by Berry, and Martin now here at second base. 1 down, and Eagan's looking to pounce.
Yeah, he definitely beat, I mean, the throw beat him. It looked like he was going to be out, but he slid right under the tag. Nicely done.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good scoop. It was a good throw, too, by Vogel. I mean, that was an off-speed pitch. So, I mean, you'd like to obviously be throwing on a fastball. And there's a fastball in the outside corner for a strike. 1-1's our count here. Liam Martin on second. The first scoring chance for both teams, having a runner in scoring position. And obviously, Eagan is fired up to have Lincoln Berry up at the plate. Berry, 7 for 22 on the season. As we get the rare balk call. I missed that as I was looking down for some stats. So Berry on the season has 10 RBIs. So he is their run producer. He leads the team in RBIs on the season. He has 8 runs as well. 2 triples too.
Yeah,
Okay.
This is the guy you want up at the plate with a runner in scoring position. And now they're sending him back to second.
I got too excited. Sorry, I got a little too excited. I think they called time, and then that's why Martin was running over to talk to Coach Butler. I got a little excited though. You don't get to see that balk call very often. Get that free base. So 1-1's our count here, 1 down. Bottom of the 4th. Pitcher Lincoln Berry. So we got the old mano-y-mano now between the two pitchers. Both of them throwing a heck of a game here early on. Dorman probably leading in the strikeout category. And there's a rip to right field by Berry, and it looks like it's going to be missed by Weed as he makes a heck of a dive for it. Martin's going to be sent home. He's going to be safe, and Berry's going to find himself on third. So we just talked about Berry lead the team in RBIs with 10, now make that 11. 2 triples on the season. Not going to say I'm Nostradamus, but he finds his way on third base.
Big time hit there with the runner on second. He had to hold up to make sure that ball wasn't caught, and then he was off and running as soon as it hit the ground. He scored easily.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're blocked by the dugout, so I tried to get up and take a look at it. By the time I looked up, as Stefan fouls that fastball back, as I tried to look up real quick, I couldn't see if it was just if it was a dove, if he missed it, if it hit his glove, how close he truly was. He had a good beat on it, did Weed in right field. So Berry's on third, 1 out, 0-1's our count. Curveball, by Dorman for a strike. So 0-2. Barry's sitting on second.
Yeah, really important for Eagan to put this in play and see if they can't get that runner home from third with just 1 out.
Absolutely. And Dorman does what you want from your pitcher. He comes right back and throws 2 quick strikes. So yeah, can Stefan maybe drag that bat? In a perfect world, right? You drag that bat a little bit, maybe hit a slow grounder to second. If it's a curveball pitch that you might not be able to handle, or obviously get something that you can put up in the outfield, and then give Berry a chance to take up. Berry has 8 runs on the season, and he gets him on that the dirty curve on the outside corner.
Nice pitch there up in the count. Got him chasing one that was out of the strike zone.
Number 27, Sam Shatman.
See if we can get a clutch 2-out hit here to get that second run across.
So Shatman will step in as they still are trying to get Barry in. And you know what? The other thing, too, with Goat Hill Park, different than a lot of other fields, is we watch that off speed that looks like it's up and in. You know, one thing that you notice here at Goat Hill is it's a deeper backstop, right? So it's so vital and important for those catchers, obviously, to be a brick wall behind the plate, because any pass ball, whether it's even kicked right or left or straight back, is going to bring Barry in to score.
Yeah, it's a great point. Great observation. Lost that one.
Yeah. So Shatman fouls that off speed off. It's 1-1's our count. 2 down. Bottom of the fourth. Eagan took the lead on the triple by Barry to right field, right down the right field line that Weed had a good beat on, just couldn't get to. And Liam Martin scored easily from second. Shatman thought he called time, but he didn't. Got lucky and got a fastball low for a ball. So that looks like that pitch counted. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So Shatman and you, as you know too, Skip, right? As a pitcher, you're taught no matter what, right? Just keep going with your motion, throw the pitch, and so forth, right?
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to hurt yourself trying to hold up.
Right. Fastball high and up. So 3-1 now is the count, as Shatman's done a nice job after falling off that first pitch. So he's seen 3 straight balls, and one of them was by luck when he thought he called time. Barry is on third with the RBI triple. Leads the team in RBIs with 11 on the season. Fastball on the outside corner for a strike. 3-2 now is our count. Shatman on the season, 4 for 23. But like we said before, 6 RBIs. So he's also been a run producer for the Wildcats.
Would be a great time to get number 7 right here.
Foul back. Looks like Farmington playing him pretty much straight up. Not really much of a shift in the outfield or in the infield by any means. 3-2's our count. Beautiful day here at Goat Hill Park. Casey Lux joined by Skip Newton. And once again, always thanking Eagan TV for bringing us the lovely coverage and the great camera angles as he swings at that high fastball. And Dormant gets probably strikeout number 7 or 8 already on this early game. But Eagan does come through with the first run of the game. They get 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. And after 4 complete, Eagan 1, Farmington 0. Top of the 5th here, back at Goat Hill Park. Number 1, Farmington Tigers traveling to take on the home Eagan Wildcats. Lincoln Berry, the pitcher, who's throwing a heck of a game here early on, had the big RBI triple to score Liam Martin for our first run of the game in the bottom of the 4th. Connor Weed, the right fielder, now batting as he takes that off speed for a ball. fastball low. So, you know, the one thing some coaches will talk about, Skip, is you know, when you have your hitter, and especially when it's one of your better hitters is also your pitcher, is, you know, can they calm back down after a big at bat, right? And just kind of, you know, slow the breathing mechanisms, right? Breathe through the eyelids, I think they say.
Yeah, that's a great point. I love the eyelids reference. Awesome movie.
So that curveball misses low and out. So 3-1's our count here early on to Weed. And Barry's trying to put away that first batter of the game and not give the momentum back to Farmington. Fastball misses low and in. So second walk of the game from Barry.
Not the ideal start to the inning for Eagan as Farmington gets the leadoff batter on. We'll see if they're going to try to advance him over to second with a steal, or if they're just going to let the big guy swing away here.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, Frank Vogel on the season, 6 for 23, 2 doubles, and a .346 batting average. So even though he is batting 7th in the lineup, he has the 3rd best average on the season for the team. So Weed on first, Vogel at the plate. Barry trying to put away or maybe even get that all-inclusive double play ball from Vogel. Pretty true conditions today, Skip. Not much wind that we have to deal with, and obviously lovely skies. And actually the one thing I will say about Goat Hill is you really don't have to mess with the sun in players' eyes too much, other than, I don't know, maybe the first baseman at times might maybe catch a little bit of that glare as the sun's maybe setting.
Yeah, anything maybe to right field potentially, and I don't know if that would have had any impact on the triple.
Right.
But
so Barry misses on that off-speed. 1-0 is our count here. Leadoff walk to Weed, the right fielder, as he's digging in. And, you know, as we mentioned too, you know, the interesting thing will be is, you know, at what point, not only Farmington, but both coaches, at what point are they going to be putting the steal signs on? Are they going to be putting on a hit and run, a bunt and run? You know, to potentially try to open up the floodgates a little bit, get the defense moving and reacting. And as we see Barry throw another ball. So we're going to get our first mound visit of the day from Coach Buski, as I think Barry may have thrown, I wouldn't say maybe 6 balls in a row, but I think 5 for sure.
so we'll go with that same reference. And, you know, what are they talking about out there? I mean, is it, you know, wedding presents? They got to get a candlesticks, make a nice gift.
Right. Absolutely, yeah. We could make this a Bull Durham. We could have this sponsored by Bull Durham. I'm not gonna lie, I got sucked in last night. You know, the Twins aren't really much to watch right now, so I got sucked into Field of Dreams last night, and I kind of forgot about how much I really love and enjoy that movie, and you know, just all the baseball references that are sprinkled in there, and obviously, especially when, you know, young Ray Liotta is, you know, just making little wisecracks here and there and so forth. No, it's a classic. And then obviously factor in Kevin Costner, follows that up with Bull Durham. I mean that guy's all over the sports the sports encyclopedia of movies. So 2-0's our count here early to Vogel as we have Weed on first. Boosie came out to probably just kind of talk over a pitch sequence with Barry, and there's a fastball down the middle for a strike. So, you know, after seeing him throw that many balls, he probably knew obviously it was a good time to throw a fastball because it was probably a take all the way.
Yeah, that's a great point. And also, too, you know, you make that trip out there, you know, maybe not so much to give him, you know, all this words of wisdom, but maybe just settle him down, give him an extra 30 seconds or so to just take a breather and calm the nerves a little bit, then get back on the mound.
Well, whatever he said worked, because then he hits him on the kneecaps for a strike, too. So 2-2's our count. Weeds on first. Barry throwing to his battery mate, Chuck Steven. Vogel at the plate. We see a throw over to Amon. Nobody out here in the top of the 5th. Eagan leading 1-0, and that was on the RBI triple by Lincoln Berry. So Eagan didn't have a hit all game, Skip, and went back-to-back single from Martin, stolen base, and then a triple from Barry. And there we see the swing and the miss on the off-speed, low and away by Barry.
I was just going to say, this would be a great time for another strikeout. Get him back in control, take the inning over, get that first out. Maybe they can get a key, you know, nice double play ball to get out of the inning quickly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a curveball that misses inside. Mehofer is planning on playing baseball next year at Dakota County Technical College, so he's not leaving too far from home. As he takes that first curveball for a ball, 1-0's our count. Fastball's low for a ball. So 2-0 again by Barry, but did an excellent job against Vogel the last at-bat of coming back from 2-0 and throwing 3 straight strikes. Both pitchers are commanding the zone for the most part, and I think both pitchers are at least 6+ strikeouts here early on. Dorman might be flexing 10 already.
Yeah, they've definitely been in command. I think getting close to 10, we should have been writing that down now that I think about it. Hindsight 2020, of course, but
we don't want to over-induce our viewers with stats and numbers all game, right? We always want them to sit back and enjoy this beautiful day here that we're having. Fastball just misses low, so 3-1 now is the count to Mehofer. Barry's asking where that was. It was hard to tell from our angle. I think it was actually a little bit more out than low. It looked like it was kneecaps. Looked like right where Stefan was posting up. So 3-1's our count. Weeds on first, 1 down here in the top of the 5th. Fastball's high. Second walk of the inning. So now we're looking at Farmington having their first real chance of a threat.
Yeah, and you mentioned in their last win they were able to scratch out a run or two, and it didn't even result as a result of a hit. So clearly they're no stranger to scoring runs without a lot of hits. Hopefully Eagan can get control here and get back into it. Another visit to the mound, just trying to get Barry back in control. Hopefully he'll get ahead of this hitter. He's throwing some first pitch balls this inning, more so than we've seen all game, really.
Well, and what you also seen from Farmington, which is a strategic move, right, is they've gone righty-lefty, righty-lefty. So now, you go out there and go, okay, lefty's up, where do you want to go? Do you feel more comfortable going fastball low and in? Do you feel more comfortable going, fastball low away or off speed? As we see a base hit by Vogel out to left. Lockenmeyer with the relay to home to Stefan, and he's going to get in. So Weed scores from second on the big base hit on the first pitch by Vogel. Not a bad throw by Lockenmeyer, but it did pull Stefan up the line. And you know what? A perfect throw, I think, would have been still close. I think Weed might have still got in.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to get him, but a good effort there. Nice job backing up the play by Barry.
Yes.
Also, nice job keeping the runners at first and second.
Correct.
So the
Double play
force
still?
on the third.
Yes.
Yep, exactly.
Yep, double play still in factor. And I didn't get a chance to announce the leadoff hitter, which is Carter Hendrickson, which we'll do in between pitches. So as we said, Hendrickson planning on playing baseball next year, Division I at Xavier.
Just missed that one. Looked like a little bit outside.
So Barry, his first true test of today, and unfortunately it was partly due to the 2 walks that he had, and then the big pitch, the big first pitch single by Vogel. And like we just talked about, right? When you're not hitting the zone, the smart hitters are going to be up there ready to go because they know more than likely they're going to see first pitch fastball, and that's probably going to be the best pitch they're going to see in their at-bat.
Oh, and how often do you see those leadoff walks always come back to bite you? Here's a double play ball.
Yep, double play ball from Martin over the relay in time. So Martin to Danich to Amon to kill the threat on a huge play by Martin and a nice backhand in the hole. And he's able to get the speedy Hendrickson down the line. It was a bang-bang play. Hendrickson looks a little dazed and wondering how he wasn't safe there. But in doing so, Farmington does get 1 run on 1 hit with leaving 2 runners on with no errors. And after 4.5, we are tied 1-1. And we're also going to pass along a message from the Minnesota State High School League. The Minnesota State High School League reminds us that the educational value of this event is more important than its outcome. Respect for others, including opponents and officials, is one of those values. Support today's teams with the respect they deserve. And then once again, if you're enjoying ETV, make sure to follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and subscribe on YouTube. You can visit eagan-tv.com. So wonderful play, as we'll just stay alive here because, this is going to be an intense battle between 2 top teams. An excellent play by Martin. quick in his backhand, a quick relay to Danich, and Danich got it in and out of his glove quickly to get it over to Amon. Nice stretch by Amon, and a huge double play ball.
Yeah, that was a massive play. You could start to feel the momentum, turning over to the Farmington side, getting into it a little more from their dugout. Really close play at first. Nicely done by Eagan to turn that double play, get out of the inning. They come back down in the bottom of the 5th, tied at 1 now, looking for that go-ahead run again.
So Dorman, like we said, has been cruising. Basically was a bad, a hanging curveball to Martin on a 3-2 count after Martin already fouled off about 3 or 4 pitches. That got the game going for Eagan as we see a fastball in there for a strike. Then Martin does his nimble feet move as he steals second, and as we said, right, the throw beat him, but he got his foot in. And then 2 pitches later, Barry hits a triple down the right field line as Huseman offers and swings away at that curveball low in the dirt. 0-2's the count. So that was how Eagan scored. So Dorman only has given up 2 hits all game. And if I remember correctly, I think Barry's only given up 1 or 2 as well.
Just
the
one,
one, right? There's a base hit up the middle by the sophomore Huseman. So Huseman on an 0-2 count gets a pitch he can handle and lines it right back up the box.
Boy, he laced that one.
Second baseman, number 2.
Perfect timing.
Ryan.
Nice, short, compact swing, right back up the middle.
All right, so I think we're going to get our first runner of the day, and this is going to be the pinch running extraordinaire. This is Parker Fall. And he's got some speed on him as well. Maybe we'll pull up what he has for stats. But I know in the North game, I think he stole 2 bases.
Well, we've seen already how important those stolen bases can be. How big was it in the last inning? We talked about what a close play that was at second. It looked like he was going to get thrown out, and then he just able to slide on the tag, and he ends up coming around to score the first run of the game.
Yeah. So, the always interesting play here is, how much do you trust your runner? Do you trust your runner enough to try to get him to steal between the first and second pitch and then maybe still drop a bunt down to get him over to third? Or are you going to let Danich kind of swing away? And they're actually going to show a bunt right away. And Danich gets a nice bunt down the first base line, fielded by Dormant, throws it over to Vogel, but Fall cruises over to second. So 1 pitch does the job. Plenty of handshakes and high fives in the dugout waiting for Danich.
Perfect fundamental baseball right there. Squared around, nice bunt in between the first baseline and the pitcher. He had nowhere else to go but to first. So
yeah, so it looks like I'm just kind of waiting to see a number here. We're going to have a pinch hitter for the center fielder, George Anderson. But I'm not getting the best angle on our guy here. And it looks like it'll be number 22, which is Matt Hick.
Pitch hitting number 22, Matt Haig.
So Haig is going to get the pinch hit here, and he's going to be pinch hitting for the center fielder, George Anderson. Haig on the season hitting a 3 for 15. Trying to see if he's got any bunt or sacrifices. The first pitch fastball is low for a ball. He's scored 3 runs, has 1 RBI, and he has 1 triple for Haig. Dorman throwing a heck of a game here for Farmington, and now we watch Parker Fall take it out for third, and he's going to get in safe. So the speedy pinch hitter, and Coach Graff's going to come out and ask for batter interference. Oh, no, he's not going to necessarily ask for it. He's just going to tell yep, and that's the right call. So Vogel just kind of got caught a little bit in no man's land. As Fall was taking off, the pitch was inside. That kind of pulled Vogel. I think if he just, stands his ground and then tries to make the throw, then you put it on the ump to call the batter interference, the batter not getting down and so forth. But obviously if you don't throw it, the ump, there's nothing for the ump to call, right?
So both teams huddling up, little strategy session here. I got to believe, they could be talking about the potential for a suicide squeeze perhaps. See if they can, again, manufacture a run. I mean, hits have been tough to come by, although we've had, 3 in the last, this inning and the last one. So getting a little more contact than what we saw earlier.
Well, so if I'm Farmington, I guess my mindset wouldn't be so much worried about a squeeze. Now, if they would have brought a pinch hitter up with a guy on third, then I would have said, okay, maybe this is their best bunter. But since they were bringing him up with Fall at second, I was thinking more of them, Eagan thinking along the lines of, We want to have a guy that can put the ball in play, good contact hitter, right? So now it comes down to Haig trying to get that ball into the outfield. As we see Farmington, obviously, with their infield up. 2 O's are count, 1 out. Pinch runner Parker Fall is sitting on third as that fastball is low and away. And the tough thing, too, Skip, is you don't really want to do an intentional walk because by doing so, you're just going to get back to the top of the lineup for Eagan anyways.
Yeah, that is a risk, of course, forcing the double play opportunity.
So there's a fastball.
Taking all the way.
Get me over fastball, making it 3-1 here. 1 out, 1-1's our game. Eagan looking to add that second run, that go-ahead run, as Parker Fall pinch ran for Will Huseman. And a big swing by Haig as he falls it straight back. So Will Huseman, the sophomore, starting today at third. An excellent at bat. Can't say any more. 0-2, got a curveball that he could handle and cruised it right back up the middle for a base hit. And then they brought in Parker Fall, the speedster, to go to first. And first pitch was bunted over by Danich. And then he obviously saw something in Dorman's timing that he took off for third and stole third base. 3-2's our count. Haig gets a big rip to left, right at Osk. Osk throws, going to pull the catcher up the line, and Fall's going to score to make it 2-1. So Osk played that right. He didn't stand on his back foot. He came in on the ball, but put that in a strong throw by Osk. It just pulled the catcher up the line.
The left fielder, number 8.
Textbook baseball there by Eagan. Bunting the guy over to second, stealing third. 1 out, get the sac fly to get the runner home. They take the lead right back as they gave it up in the top of the inning.
Ooh, a little drag bunt, but that's just going to stay on the dirt to Dorman, and Dorman's going to throw to Vogel for the out. I was just going to say that was your 3M manufacturing run of the game right there, right?
There you go.
Which I don't know, maybe we can't say that. Maybe that's a boo-boo for the sponsor. But with that being said, Eagan does get 1 run on 1 hit. No errors and nobody left on. And after 5 complete, we have a 2-1 Eagan Wildcats lead. All right, we're back here, top of the 6th. Casey Lux and Skip Newton. Shortstop, Alex Barrett. The second hitter in the lineup, and he hits his first pitch from Liam Martin, the new pitcher, to Ryan Danich as he gets it over to Ahmed. So Liam Martin comes in from shortstop position, kind of going to be the closer today. First pitch fastball, gets an out as he retires Barrett.
So that closes the book on Barry. He goes 5 innings, giving up just the 1 run on the 1 hit.
Right.
Was in command pretty much the whole game. He did walk a couple of batters, which led to that run. Also hit a batter earlier in the game, but otherwise absolute control.
Fastball in there for a strike by Martin. I guess, it's kind of hard to say if Martin or Daniel Biancamano is their ace. I think they kind of probably 1 and 1A, 1B. Another fastball in there for a strike. Both pitchers do an excellent job of commanding the zone, and as we're seeing from Martin, I mean, he's coming in just throwing fastballs at the knees right away off the bat. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. 0-2 pitch in there for a strike again. So quick work of Osk as he's able to go 1, 2, 3 and strikes him out.
I tell you, that one had some heat on it, too. That thing got to the plate in a hurry. Nice pitching, 4 pitches, all strikes, 2 outs. great start to the 6th inning.
You know, I know it's the NFL Combine time, right, Skip? But, you know, if we're going to break down somebody, that's kind of the pitching body you want right there. Long and lean from Martin with a nice whip motion and a long stride as he misses for the first time today for a ball in the outside corner. We're not going to get into too much detail, right? You know, great in small areas and all these things, right? Quick hands, you know, agile, quick feet, whatever. But I think as a pitcher, you want a guy that has a long whip, right? Because obviously the longer he can keep that ball before throwing it home, a better release point. Strike on the outside corner. 1-1's our count. 2 down here in the top of the 6th. 2-1 is our score with Eagan taking the lead in the bottom of the 5th. That ball's hit to the third baseman, Huseman. Huseman gathers himself and gets it over to Amon in time. And a 1-2-3 from Martin. And now Farmington in the top of the 6th. No runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. Got another quick read for you. Alrighty, so back to the Cascade Bay. Because you know, people out there need to know that their summer jobs are available for them. So if you need a fun summer job, Eagan's Cascade Bay is hiring. Serve your community, make friends, earn some money, and help create summer fun for everyone. Lifeguards, pool attendants, guest attendants, and grounds attendants are some of the positions that are open. For more information on how to apply, dive into the website at cascadebay.com. And once again, we have to remind you, with this excellent camera crew and the guys in the truck, if you're enjoying Eagan TV, make sure to follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and subscribe on YouTube. You can visit eagan-tv.com. All right, Skip, so we're cruising right along here. I haven't even looked at the time. Dorman is not on the mound. We have a new pitcher. It's going to be the DH.
Yeah, the greatest thing about Eagan TV and YouTube is that all these games are out there, and you can go back and watch them at any time. So I've caught myself watching some old fun soccer games, check out some basketball games I might have missed. So yeah, this would be a great game to watch again and just see, you know, not only an important game in the standings, as we talked about, you know, coming in, right? Farmington undefeated, sitting on top. Eagan just 2 games behind in 2nd place, looking to cut that to 1. But you know, a well-played game,
yeah.
And you can tell both teams are intense. They're getting into it.
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, the game, you know, later on down the road at Farmington will be a huge game. I won't doubt that we'll see these 2 guys are going to meet each other in the playoffs as well.
First baseman, number 5, Mason Amon.
So Mason Amon steps in. He's the first baseman. And as we said, he's the normal, everyday second baseman, but the injury to the hot-hitting Charlie Harms has moved Amon to first and Ryan Danich over to second. The new pitcher right now is the DH. So the DH takes over for Dorman, who threw a heck of a game. He went 5 strong with 2 earned runs, but we believe he probably had at least 10-plus strikeouts throughout today. And so today's pitcher, the new pitcher, is going to be Kyle Hernser, as we see a hot shot hit by Amon, but Weed has to move only about 2 steps to his left, and he makes the play.
The pitcher, number 16, Liam Martin.
So Liam Martin moved from short over to pitch in the 6th inning. And him and Barry just kind of took, you know, switched spots. Barry then moved over to shortstop. Martin was the one that had the big first single of the game off of Dorman on a 3-2 curveball that was a hanger after he already fouled off about 3 pitches. Hit went out to left, stole second, came in on that triple. Hernser is a new pitcher. 1-0 is our count with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Fastball pumped in on the outside corner. I don't know if we have stats on Hernser. This could be maybe his first outing of the year. Oh, no.
Nope. This is his 3rd game.
Okay.
He's played in 2 games. Thrown 8 in a 3rd innings. He has no wins, no losses. But
yeah, their ERAs are tiny.
3.24 ERA.
I think his might even be the highest, and that's still a heck of an ERA. 2-1's our count to Martin from Hernser. He throws a fastball high. And, you know, probably more of a reliever, right? I mean, that's, you know, you kind of look at the games pitched and the innings. Probably more of a reliever, maybe slashed even the closer in a sense, right? But yeah, I mean, if his highest ERA is in the threes, that's a great number. Everybody else is below. There's a couple guys pencil thin around 1 or even below as he gets a fastball on the outside corner for a strike. 3-2 is our count to the pitcher now. Liam Martin came in relief of the starter, Lincoln Berry.
Yeah, nobody else on the roster has an ERA in the 2s even. So
Exactly.
I guess that explains why they haven't lost a game yet.
There's a rip to right field as he goes with the pitch. So Martin gets his second hit of the day as he hits one out to Weed. Takes a big turn, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Lincoln Berry.
Shortstop, number 10, Lincoln.
Fourth hit of the game for Eagan, just one still for Farmington, looking to get that insurance run going into the top of the 7th.
Yeah. Yeah, and as well as Martin's been pitching, you never know, right? I mean, it's just all, it can take 1 or 2 plays, and all of a sudden before you know it, you got guys on second and third with 1 out. Hernscher's first offering is a fastball on the outside corner to Berry. Obviously, Martin is a threat to steal, as he already has a stolen base. Martin and Parker Fall have 2 stolen bases of the game for Eagan, as they are 2 for 2 on swiping bags. Berry leading the team in RBIs with 11, also 3 triples. Fastballs up and out. So Berry opened up the hit parade, not the hit parade, but the run parade per se, with that big triple. I believe that was in the 4th inning, if I remember correctly.
Yep, that was the first run of the game in the bottom of the 4th. And Eagan got another one in the bottom of the 5th to take the lead.
There goes Martin. Didn't get the best jump as he hits a pop fly out to Weed. Weed's going to be easily under it, and Martin will have plenty of time of getting back for the second out of the inning.
The catcher, number 7, Chuck Steffen.
So Chuck Steffen steps in. He's the catcher.
2 outs. I got to believe they're going to send him here and try to get him to scoring position, wouldn't you think?
Yeah. And, and that was, I think that was just your classic, hit and run. You know what I mean? I think that was a good pitcher's count for Berry on a pitch that he knew he could handle, as we see a short pop-up and a nice effort by Vogel. Just kind of ran a little bit out of real estate as he dove for that one. That was almost like looked like it was almost a knuckleball for a second, right? I mean, he barely got anything on that bat.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, in a tough play for the catcher to make, I mean, that would have been a really nice play if he could have come up with that one. And it wasn't high enough for any other player to get there, so he was the only guy that had a shot.
Exactly. So 0-1's the count. Hernscher doing a good job of throwing strikes. Gave up that base hit to Martin on a 1-2 fastball on the outside corner that Martin did a nice job of going with it to right field. Chuck Steffen, catcher, here is up. Senior as well. Martin, a junior, on first. And there goes Martin. Now we get to see Vogel's throw down again down to second. This time an excellent dig by the second baseman, Drusch. Puts the tag on by a beautiful throw by Vogel and a great dig and tag by the second baseman, Drusch. So Martin thrown out for the first time today and Eagan thrown out for the first time today. Eagan gets no runs here in the bottom of the 6th inning on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on. 2-1's our score going into the top of the 7th. And we're back here, top of the 7th. Eagan leading 2-1 as they took the lead in the bottom of the 5th. And Liam Martin in replace of the starter Lincoln Berry. Throwing to the second baseman Noah Drush, the number 5 hitter that just had a great soft hands dig on a wonderful throw from Vogel to get Martin, catch him stealing. Fastball misses in. And we're looking at a 2-0 count here early on to Drush. Drush next year going on to play at Century College. It's also not going far from home. And there's a fastball in the inside corner.
It's impressive, a few of these kids going on to play in college. I mean, that's a significant commitment.
Yep.
You know, you've got your school, obviously, and your studies, and then now you're adding on, you know, playing a sport for a college. That's a big time commitment. That's
Absolutely.
impressive.
And and you can see it, right? Farmington 7-0, and looking at their sheet, we didn't get to all the names, unfortunately, but they have about 6 or 7 seniors playing next year going on. Ball hit up the middle for a base hit by Drew, so he leads off the inning with a base hit that gets past Danich.
Well, that one was hit just in the right place for Farmington. Not the hardest hit ball, but boy, right where no one else could get it.
Yeah. Well, and you know, too, Skip, I mean, with a left-handed hitter, right, Danich obviously is probably shading over to his left, so, you know, that would be a play that if you're playing in normal depth, you know, to a righty, that would have been an easy play. Shows bunt, throw down by first by Steffen. Close play to Ahmed, even though Steffen didn't get much on it. Pitch misses for a ball, so 1-0's our count as we saw Weed show bunt.
He had him off the bag a little too far. I think he should feel pretty lucky to get back to first there.
Yeah, it looked like Steffen might have slipped a little bit because he didn't really have his footing to actually kind of, you know, get a hard throw over as we see Martin throw over to Ahmed for the first time tonight. So Drush on first, and the one thing we did mention is Drush is their biggest theft on the bases, 4 for 4 in stolen bases. So that's why they know that they have to keep him tight. And now we see an overthrow by Martin to Ahmed, and Drush is going to stop at second. So that's going to open things up now for Farmington, and it's going to make things get a little tight for Eagan, because with a 1-0 count, Skip, now you really get to play into get that bunt down, and now you could be sitting with the guy on third with 1 out.
Yeah, I'd really like to see the focus get back on to the batter and not worry about the base runner. I mean, he's at second now. There's really nothing you can do about that. So let's bear down, get back to what he did in the 6th inning, and just throw strikes and see if he can't get, you know, back to an even count, maybe even get ahead if he doesn't lay down the bunt, and hopefully, you know, get this guy out and move on to the next batter.
Well, and the other aspect, the other aspect too, as we see Coach Butler's going to come out and talk to his team here, even after Steffen went out and talked to Martin. You know, the other aspect here is you still see the sacrifice bunt, you still see the suicide squeeze in the high school game, but you don't see it as much anymore. And what I'm getting at is you're still asking a lot of a guy to get the bunt down. It you know, to the older crowd, the older generation, they sit there and go, how do you not get a bunt down? Because they grew up just bunting guys over, right? And it was just second nature, fastball, curveball, slider, whatever, I get the bunt down. So I always kind of look at it, too, is that just nothing is necessarily guaranteed. I mean, even if you get a guy over to second with nobody out, he's still got to get the bunt down, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that he can't pop one up or that, you know, he's not going to, you know, get it in between the lines, right? So obviously we're going to see what kind of play Coach Graff has in motion. Druce obviously has the speed. So, I mean, the other thing you have to worry about is, you know, does Druce potentially try to take off for third here, and he could be sitting on third with nobody out?
That would surprise me a little bit, trying to take third when
pretty
you're
risky
with nobody out. But, yeah, you never know, right?
Right.
I mean, you got to be ready for anything.
Shows the bunt. Curveball's low. So 2-0's our count. Liam Martin on the mound. Had a quick 1-2-3 inning in the 6th. Gave up the single to Drush. And then Drush ends up on second on the overthrow from Martin over to the first baseman, Ahmed. Barry playing with him at second. Now we get the bunt down. Gets it down to Martin. Goes right away to first. Danich does a good job of covering up the base. So just like we talked about, now we got a guy on third base, which is Drush, with 1 out.
Nice play, getting him over to third. Again, with just 1 out, that puts the sacrifice fly into play. They just need to put the ball in play and hopefully get that run across.
Right.
Do you think Eagan's going to play up to cut off that runner at home?
Well, it looks like they're going to play up on the left side. Amon's playing up, but Danich, they're going to still want to make sure that he has plenty of room to go left and right. Martin with the off-speed. The one thing I will say is that Barry pitched very effectively with off-speed to the big first baseman Vogel. So, and it looks like they wanted to pitch him out, right? Because a big guy like him, you don't want to come inside. He a little bit of the suicide squeeze. So we were just sitting there talking about it, and they sneak one in, and unable to get it down in between the lines there. So now an 0-2 count in favor to Martin. So now really, if you're Martin, you really want to come with your best pitch, right? Your punch-out pitch.
Yeah, you're ahead, you're 0-2. You don't want to give him anything to hit. See if you can get him to chase something. That first pitch strike was huge because now they takes the bunt out of the play.
Absolutely. There it is, fastball, high. I kind of thought that might be what he would go with, You don't want to go with the fastball on the outside corner that might, bleed into the inside of the dish. So 1-2's the count. Druce on third. He's the potential tying run with a 2-1 lead for Eagan. One down here in the top of the seventh. And there's the fastball for a strike as he gets Vogel swinging. So 2 down, and that now is going to bring up the third baseman.
Boy, he just reached back and fired that thing. That was straight out of Major League, right?
Yeah.
Forget the curveball, Ricky. Give him the heater.
Absolutely. And I think he set him up really well. He went with a high changeup the pitch before, so to kind of change, the speed, right, and to throw him off in his balance. And then that time came back with a high fastball. So he went high strikes twice in a row, and Vogel just couldn't lay off on that high fastball. 1-0's our count to Mehofer, the third baseman. We still have Druce on third with a potential tying run. Liam Martin throwing to his battery mate, Chuck Steffen. Lincoln Berry threw a heck of a game for Eagan. Still sitting in line for a win. He's playing short now. There's a fastball, it just gets a little high. Adrenaline obviously is running here for these kids and for Martin on the mound.
I think nice job by Mehofer there, kind of selling that. It wasn't nearly as high as he made it look.
Ball hit down the line. It's going to stay foul. Nice job by Huseman just to knock it foul, make sure it stays foul. So 2-1's our count as Mehofer hits that fastball down the line for a foul ball. Eagan playing Mehofer pretty much straight up, infield and outfield.
I think I would love to see him go back to that heater here.
Yeah.
Throw it as hard as you can, see if you can't get him to swing and miss and get down to that last strike.
Fastball up. So 3-1's the count to Mehofer. The one thing that, not all coaches would say, but one thing that he would say is, that some coaches would say is that, well, you don't want to give him too much here when you have the number 9 hitter coming up next, as we see a 3-1 offer, fastball's up and away. So walks Mehofer with 2 outs.
Hopefully that walk doesn't hurt Eagan. They really care more about the guy at third right now. If they can just get this batter out, of course, the game's over.
Well, and the one aspect now, if you're Eagan, is now you do have the force play at second, right? So ball hit up the middle. If it's maybe something in the hole that maybe Danich or Barry has to dive for, you cover up the base. You can flip it to on a play that you might not obviously be able to get him out at first, right? Especially with Vogel hitting on the left side, step closer to the base. So 2 down here in the top of the 7th. 2-1 is our score with Eagan leading. First pitch by Martin. Big swing by Vogel. Ready to hit here in the top of the 7th with Druce on third and Mehofer on first. Druce with that base hit, and then getting over to second base on the wild throw, and then cruising over to third on the bunt. Off speed just misses on the outside corner. 1-1 is our count. Mehofer gets over to first on a walk. I believe that is the 4th walk of the day. I think Barry had 3 and Martin with 1. 1-1's our count. 2 outs. 2-1's our score. There's the off speed, swung on and missed by Vogel.
That was a big pitch. He swung at ball 2 for sure. So now he's ahead of the count. He's got a lot of options.
Yeah. Yeah, now Martin can really go into his bag of tricks. This could be the pitch of the game here. 1-2's the count. There it is. There it is. Looked like a little bit of a change-up off speed. Just got it just in the zone around the letters as Eagan comes through with a big win. and they actually dodged the bullet of having Drew sitting on third base with 1 out. Farmington, to their credit, with 1 strike, did try the suicide squeeze, and it wasn't a bad bunt. It just, the way it was spinning, it just stayed on the dirt, but just stayed foul to the left field line. So, we're going to wrap it up here, though. For Skip Newton and for Casey Lux, a big win by Eagan, as they are now 7-2 on the season, and they just gave Farmington their first loss of the season. So if Farmington falls to 7-1, Eagan moves to 7-2, with Eagan winning here at Godale Park 2-1. Thank you again to all from Eagan TV, and everyone have a wonderful, sunny Wednesday evening.